Hello, everybody. This is Jay Dibb with National LiveScan Association. Today's session, we're going to talk about the daily things a LiveScan fingerprinting technician or ink card fingerprinting technician does on a normal work day and things they have. I'm going to share a few stories with you, and I got to share with you guys at the end of the session here that we need to address on our end, perhaps on your end also. So let's jump into it here. If you have any questions, go ahead and paste your questions in the comment section, and make sure you put #ask there so we can find your question a little bit faster and easier to get you taken care of there. So let's jump into some things right now. When I share some stories with you, just keep this in mind. I like to repeat this on a daily basis, not just for myself, but those who I work with also. Every day we encounter fear and risk on multiple levels. So even as a LiveScan technician, there can be some challenges you're going to face for that particular day. And some of those might be new to you or might not, but just be aware of it. You just got to deal with those issues at that particular time. And I see something weird on the screen behind us here. I might have to go ahead and get that addressed in a few seconds there, but I'll figure that out shortly there. All right. So where are we right now? And here we go. One of the first things you want to do regarding it as a daily routine for a LiveScan or ink card fingerprinting technician is get there early and set up. Now, what does that mean? It depends on what your business model is like. Some folks might get there kind of early to get there set up because they might have a long way to travel or something called traffic to deal with when they go into the location to set up. So you might want to leave a little bit early to get there to set up. And some of us folks have appointments where clients come to us, appointments only, and they might have to travel a little bit to get to the location. And if there's a 9 a.m. appointment, they might get there sometime 15, 20 minutes early to not be late waiting for you. So what I'm trying to say is you don't want to get there when people are waiting at the door to get fingerprinted. If they get there early, they get seen early, you get more clientele that way too. But try to get at least 15, 20 minutes minimum at the bare minimum to your location to get set up. I personally recommend 30 minutes or maybe 45 minutes because things that happen when you get there. You have to be prepared for that. Especially working with LiveScan devices, sometimes there may be some type of updates going on you're not aware of. So when you get there early and set up, that includes you working on your machines, logging on your machines early. Make sure there is no updates coming up on the system or you're not aware of, because nothing worse than you're trying to fingerprint and all of a sudden your machine restarts itself because of a Microsoft update. I personally like to do is get there early, turn everything on, and make sure that if there's any updates, they could get the updates done ahead of time before your first client shows up there. So get there kind of early and set up and be prepared for your customers. Get there early. Wipe down the whole work area, disinfect everything, be ready, get your cup of coffee ready. And I don't have my Big J cup, it disappeared. There can be some issues today. I'm gonna get that resolved though. But get there early and set up. And this is normal for a LiveScan technician. For those who are successful, are there early to set up. Those who are just trying to get there on time, you're gonna lose business. You really are, because you're not there on time by being on time. Being on time is at least 15 to 30 minutes early for any business that person has. Okay? A real business will get there early. Our organization has a place get there early, so be ready when the doors opened up. Everything's already taken care of. Okay, let's share something else with you here. And I had a typo there. I have to go ahead and put that letter right back in there and save that. Check your workload for the day. When you get there, you want to see what you have for the day. You want to know what ideal what you have. And like for us, I might recommend you checking the workload the day before, perhaps the evening or early that morning before you even get there. But what you want to do before the doors even open up. One thing is to check your workload. Know what you're anticipating. Are you booked up for the day? Were there any changes with the manpower? Did somebody call in sick? Is someone not going to come in there? Are you prepared for a technician not showing up to manage the workload? But check your workload and have an idea what to expect ahead of time. Get your paperwork ready. If they register online and provide information online already, you could take the information that was sent online into the system and be prepared. If they have ink card fingerprinting coming in, a couple of folks, and you have another technician with you, and there's two of them coming at the same time, have two different workstations available, two different areas available ahead of time. Be prepared. Get your ink cards out, get your supplies out, whatever the case may be. Be prepared and check your workload. You don't want to have surprises. Or sometimes what happens when people schedule online, you might think they schedule for a live scan, and when you look at the description of services that they really want in the notes or comment section, they might say, I need ink cards. Because in their mind, they may came from a particular state in the past when they went to a place where there was a live scan, but they printed out on ink cards. So remember something else. Live scan just means electronic fingerprinting. All it means is electronic fingerprinting. What happens next with the fingerprints depends on what type of service you're providing to the customers. Are you going to transmit the fingerprints out to a requesting agency, to the government, or are you going to print out the fingerprints on the ink card? So sometimes people schedule online for live scan services. They really might need ink card fingerprinting. So once again, check your workload. They may schedule for a particular service, like for notarization, for example, and you just realize you notary won't be in that day. Or perhaps the person who scheduled for it might not be aware your notary license might have expired 3 or 4 days ago. Check your workload, please. It'll help you manage your day a lot smoothly. Always check your workload. And not just the workload for that so as you get there, check it in the mid-morning, because things will change. It could be cancellations, it could be change of different services. Perhaps one of the machines have to leave off site. If you have more than one machine, perhaps one technician has to leave off site to do mobile services. So always check your workload. It could be some new add-ons to your appointment. It could be some more walk-ins all of a sudden you expect. Sometimes you see a person will call and say, hey, I need a live scan. I'm on the way. Are you available right now? Do you accept walk-ins? You may say yes to that there, and they show up with 3 other people. Check your workload and, of course, manage your workload. Find out from them ahead of time, okay, then who's coming with you? How many people in the vehicle with you? Is just you or somebody else? I'm bringing my family too. I'm bringing my wife too. Well, I need ink card fingerprinting. Be very specific with them. How many ink cards do you need total? You might be thinking one, they may say 2 or 3. You'll get paid. But manage your workload, check your workload when they contact you to walk in. Find out exactly what's going on. Where you at? Are you on your way? Yeah, I'm right down the street. Okay, but what time will you be here at this office? They might still be in bed. Be very specific with them and check your workload there. Oh, excellent. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And of course, this cup is almost empty. Oh, they got jokes today, but this is the Big J cup. Big J. Got to get it going. Oh, that's pretty good. And this is LiveScan.Cafe with a Big J cup. Check your workload the afternoon. Things will change. Just always stay on top of your game and check your workload. So why a technician? It could be you just a one-person operation. So you get in there early. You're checking the workload. People coming in. All of a sudden now the phones are ringing. How are you going to manage your workload? How are you going to manage talking to people with the so-called quick questions? And the phones are still ringing off the hook. You need to think about all these things, sir, because this is a typical daily routine for fingerprinting. If you're one-person operation, you get your phones ringing off the hook, which is a good thing, but make sure you get the calls addressed. You got to still fingerprint somebody who comes in on time, but perhaps their things are hard to fingerprint. And I got another person waiting in line or sitting down to wait to be served by you, but all of a sudden this so-called 10 to 15-minute process fingerprinting somebody may take you 2 or 3 times as longer to fingerprint them. And there's different things you can do to address those scenarios. And that's covering some of our courses we have, the National LiveScan Association. Yeah, that's right. I had to get that plug in there. But throughout the day, technicians are faced with phone calls, people coming in late, people coming in early, people just walking in off the street, people coming in and they're rushing you to fingerprint them. But all of a sudden now they got all these questions after you fingerprint them and they don't want to leave. Manage your workload, and this is a daily routine for those who are fingerprinting. It's going to happen. You just smile and manage workload and prioritize how you're going to address it. Please think about how you're going to prioritize these different type of issues. Do you stop right now and answer the phone call? Or can you fingerprint, answer the phone call, and talk to somebody over there who's being a pain in the butt? Because all of a sudden now it's 11:46 and they put them at 11:45 and they want you to see them right now. Or perhaps they got here at 11:46 and they want you to stop what you're doing to fingerprint them. Or maybe 5 minutes afterwards, they came in 5 minutes late. How are you going to manage it? These are the daily things you're going to face when you do fingerprinting. It's normal. Or they might see that you booked up for ink card fingerprinting date, so they're going to squeeze into a bogus appointment for a live scan just to get their foot in the door. And when they show up, they got 2 or 3 ink cards saying, oh, I got an appointment for live scan. Oh, this is not live scan? They're going to play games sometime, or perhaps they just don't know. But check your workload, follow up, and see what's going on. Okay, you might have to manage your workload the day ahead of time to see who's really coming in, see who's going to confirm the appointment for the next day, and make sure if there's any questions, what service do they really need when they get to office ahead of time. These are the daily things a fingerprint technician goes through on an ongoing basis. What slows us down a lot, and I hear tons of stories about this all the time, is dealing with customer challenges. I'm not saying the customer's a pain in the butt, but something they may be. They may have some LiveScan Karens or some LiveScan Kens out there. Who knows? But you can have some challenging customers, and sometimes they have some really good concerns you should address with them. Or sometimes they just want to be a pain in the butt just to despite your operations because they feel like passing their issues upon you. But have nothing to do with your business at all, but just them showing that negativity on your workplace while you're trying to fingerprint other people. They can sit there trying to argue with you something. How come you can't see them right now? There's a chair right over there. So why can't I sit in that chair and get fingerprinted? I'm not waiting 2 or 3 minutes because I'm here. How are you going to manage that stuff? You can tell them there's appointments only. You could be on the phone and tell the folks when they call, there's appointments only. There's no walk-ins. They're still going to show up. Or you might have walk-ins and they're going to tell you they're on their way. It's so great. We close at 5 o'clock and they show up at 4:59. The daily routines of a fingerprint technician, of an ink card fingerprint technician, of a live scan fingerprinting technician. These are the daily things you're going to experience. And there's a lot more. Now, I'm not here to scare you away. I just want you to be aware of what you're getting into for fingerprinting. Or I'm here to share with you the smiles and sometimes the laughs or the frustration we all encounter for those who've been fingerprinting for quite some time. You know, share your comments below. If you're looking at this session later on, put down your experiences you had before with other customers you had to deal with. And I can tell you a lot of the stories about those. Now, and I promise you at the end of the session, you have a short story with you, dealing on an ongoing basis as a fingerprint technician. Or you could be the sole operator, or you could be the manager of the organization. You got a team of employees fingerprinting. What you're going to do all of a sudden, your laptop doesn't start. You checked everything out before, when you got there, everything worked fine. Well, did you really check out the right way? You're trying to fingerprint, the screen on the scanner, LiveScan device is lit, so there's some type of power going to it. What you going to do? With all of a sudden now, you're trying to hit your keyboards and you're trying to type in information, nothing's working. These things are going to happen. Or perhaps a person comes in for ink card fingerprinting and you know you had your ink pass out last night on the table, but the next one you get there, they're not there. Did you have a backup plan? What you're going to do? Well, if all of a sudden your phones doesn't work, you're trying to receive calls and people complaining. These happen all the time. Perhaps people could park only in the garage. But all of a sudden now the garage is closed because of a holiday the next day. He wasn't aware of it. So now they have to figure out how to get to your location because where you're at, there's only garage parking, there's no street parking. Or perhaps the elevator goes down in your building there, or the power goes out in your building. These happen to a lot of us out there fingerprinting. What you going to do? You're going to step back, regroup, and make it work. Now, a little tip of the trade, a little secret right here. If you're doing a live scan fingerprint on a device and the power goes out, there's no reason why You can't still fingerprint. I'm taking that back. Say this building's daylight, you still can see, but power goes out for a half hour. But there's no elevator involved. They're just on the first floor. So you still could come in and see you. Your phones may ring through your cell phone, but there's no internet connection, or there's no power to your office there. Maybe the fuse blown or something like that. Who knows? There's no reason why you still can't do live scan. We always recommend you keep the power to your live scan, the battery charged, fully charged. Now, sometimes you might unplug it to move around when you fingerprint throughout the day, but try to make sure your laptop stays at least halfway charged throughout the day as the bare minimum, because things will happen. Or perhaps your emails go down, or perhaps your website goes down, and they call you saying they can't schedule your appointment, or things will happen. So when you come into work that day, don't just set up your office and think everything's fine. Check on the services that's outside your office. Internet, for one thing. Make sure everything's working fine. All right. And that could go on and on and on. I'm not here to scare anybody away from fingerprinting, but these are the daily things a fingerprint technician will encounter on a daily basis, all the time. And if you're the owner or the CEO of the organization, trust me, it'll be a lot more challenging on the face every single day. My name is Jay Dibben with the National LiveScan Association. I thank you guys for joining us today for this session called the LiveScan.Cafe. We're here every Saturday morning, so please go ahead and subscribe to our channel, which is LiveScan.TV. And let me see if I can find some action steps here for you guys. And to also RSVP for upcoming events for the LiveScan.Cafe. Just go to LiveScan. Oops, this is different. This is LiveScan chat. Go back to that one first. LiveScan.Cafe to RSVP for upcoming events for our LiveScan morning sessions here on Saturday mornings. And for those who want to learn more about coming, my mouth is getting dry. I apologize, folks. Hold on. And learn more about the association, go to LiveScan.chat to speak to member advisor, free 15-minute consultation call, get you pointed in the right direction, and also see if we're a good fit for you and your endeavors. I thank you folks out there. In closing, be safe, have fun, get in trouble, but don't get caught. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Where did the little button there go there? There it goes. All right.